Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Games Edition, and in today's video we're going to be having a showdown between the POCO X3 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy A70. Okay, so first things first, let's jump into the brief specs of these two phones, and we'll do the POCO first. So the POCO X3 Pro comes in Phantom Black, especially this one that I have here. It has 8GB of RAM and 250GB of storage. It does come in a 128GB variant too, so if you want to get it for a cheaper price, you have that option. And the processor it's running is the Snapdragon 860. Now, the Samsung Galaxy A70. The A70 has an Infinity U display with an on-screen fingerprint sensor. As you guys know if you watched my other video, it has super fast charging, as well as the POCO. The POCO has 33 watt fast charging and the Samsung has 25 watt fast charging. Now the Samsung is running an octa-core processor and it has a Super AMOLED display. It's got a 32 megapixel plus a 5 megapixel plus an 8 megapixel rear camera and a 32 megapixel front camera. And that's about it for the specs on these two. Now let's talk about the phones themselves. Now the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the actual colours you can get these phones in. So the POCO comes in this Phantom Black, which has frosted sides, which I'll show you in a sec, and it also comes in a frosted blue. Now let me just show off this Phantom Black. So as you guys can see, it's got some frosting here which looks pretty nice. You've got a mixture of some colours in here, you've got a rainbow effect, and then you have this centerpiece which has a carbon fibre weave. It looks like it has a carbon fibre weave. See if we can get the camera to focus. There you can see the weave right here. It looks like it has some carbon fibre-esque weave, and then you've got this quad camera right at the top, quite bulky. And then for the fingerprint sensor, unlike the Samsung Galaxy A70, this has it on the side. So, and the fingerprint sensor on this is immaculate. It's so fast. Watch this. Boom, boom. It doesn't even take a second. And then as for the facial recognition, that is just amazingly fast too. There we are. Let me just use my other hand so I'm not doing the fingerprint. There we are. Instant. Okay, so let's put the POCO to one side and grab the A70. Now the A70 comes in something that was called Majestic Black. I'm not sure if it's still called that, but this also has the rainbow effect on it, as you guys can see. However, that's just about it for this. It doesn't have any frosted paint on it or any carbon fibre-esque weave. And as for the fingerprint sensor on this phone, it's built into the screen, so there we are. And as for the facial recognition, takes a bit of time and sometimes doesn't recognize you. However, the POCO does have a 2.5-year lead on this phone, but these phones were both in a similar price range at the moment. That's why I decided to do this comparison. Now for connectivity, both of these have Bluetooth, NFC, and specifically they both have Bluetooth 5.1, and maybe you will get above depending on an update or anything. And for connectivity on the phone itself, both have, let's just get the camera to focus, both have a USB Type-C on the bottom and a headphone jack. Nice to see that, POCO, in 2021. Both come in box with a plug and a charger. So the POCO comes with a 33 watt fast charging plug and charger, and the A70 comes with a 25 watt plug and a cable. Okay, so I've now got some video to show off the screens on these phones, and the Samsung Galaxy A70 has a 6.7-inch full rectangle screen. However, if you do account for the corners that it has, then the screen ends up being 6.5 inches. Now, the POCO X3 has a 6.67-inch screen, so it is wider and a bit more bigger in length. So you do have that, so technically the POCO does have a bigger screen, unlike the Samsung. And just for you guys, in case you can see a difference between the camera, I'll bring the camera here so you can see a difference. So you can see something. Both of these are on the highest brightness setting, so I'll focus it on the 70 first. Now I'll focus it onto the POCO. Now from what I can see, the A70's clouds are slightly more yellow. However, the POCO's clouds are really white. Now this is in 4K on YouTube, and I can show you that right now. and both of these are in 4K. So if we go here, you can see their quality is on 2160p, and if we go on the POCO, the quality is on 2160p. Okay, now let's talk about the cameras. So I did have the chance to take some pictures with these cameras at the same location. So here's a picture taken with the A70, and here's one taken with the POCO. Now, because you guys can't see it clearly like this from this camera, I'm going to just upload an image onto once I'm editing this, and you guys can see it then. I'll have it labeled in the bottom which one is the POCO and which one was the A70. Also for the cameras, let's head over to the back, turn both of these off. So, as I said before, actually I didn't say this before, the POCO X3 Pro has a 48 megapixel camera on the back with a quad setup, and the Samsung Galaxy A70 has a 32 megapixel plus a 5 megapixel plus an 8 megapixel triple rear camera. Now, the selfie camera on the A70 is a 32 megapixel camera. However, for the POCO, it's not been stated what the selfie camera megapixel is. But that's about it for the cameras. So you got 48 for the POCO on the back, on the rear, and on the rear of the Samsung, you've got a 32 plus a 5 plus an 8 megapixel camera. Okay, and because I want to keep this nice and short for you guys, now it's the last test, and the last test is going to be comparing these two phones on a Geekbench test. So let's turn on Geekbench on the A70, and now let's turn it on the POCO. Okay, let's just accept this, and here's a quick overview. So here's the POCO first. You've got it's the Xiaomi, Android 11, Qualcomm, 4 cores, 3 cores, 1 core. And then if we move to the A70, you got Android 11, Qualcomm Snapdragon 675, 6 cores at 1.71 gigahertz and 2 cores at 202 gigahertz. So that's the stuff there. Now let's run a benchmark. So I'm going to do this at the same time and see which one finishes first. So let's get you guys back on the tripod. 3, 2, 1, go. There we are. And I'll be right back once one of these is done. Okay, so at the moment the POCO, even though it had a slight late start because it didn't activate when I clicked run, does have a massive lead actually. It's on 40%, and the A70 is still on 25%. I'm guessing that's due to it having more RAM, because the A70 has 6 gigabytes of RAM and the POCO has 8 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, so the POCO X3 managed to complete the test first, and the A70 is still at 75%. It's still running rigid body parts. Now it's running a blur test and face detection. So we'll just wait for the A70 to finish off, and then I'll show you the scores at the same time. Okay, so the A70 is finally done. Let me just take you guys out to the tripod so you can have a good look at this. Okay, so the POCO X3 Pro has a... Get this to focus. Come on. Has a single core score of 756 and a multi-core score of 2645. Okay, so not that bad, and we'll compare this with some other phones at the top. So the Samsung Galaxy A70, 474 on single core, and on the multi-core 1457. So just from this we can definitely see which one is the winner. The winner is the POCO X3 Pro. Okay, and that's it for this comparison, guys. If you like what we do around here, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, in the comment section down below, let me know if you want to see more comparisons like this, or do you want to see computer builds, anything. Let me know in the comment section down below, and also let me know if you want to see another phone similar to the POCO or even better. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.